Every single year, hundreds of millions of people sit down, full of hope, and write out their New Year's resolutions. Get fit, write a book, start a business, learn a language. And within 2 weeks, most of them quit. They're not lazy, they don't lack motivation. The real reason is this: they're focused entirely on the goal and completely ignoring the system underneath it. Today we're going to fix that. We're going to break down the most essential ideas from one of the most important books of the last decade, James Clear's Atomic Habits, into a complete, practical system you can start using today. But before we dive in, a thought experiment that will change how you see every single habit in your life. Imagine a flight taking off from Los Angeles, heading to New York City. At the moment of departure, the pilot tilts the nose of the plane just 3.5 degrees south. From the cockpit, you'd barely notice. The passengers feel nothing. The sky looks the same. The runway looks the same. But here's what happens. Instead of landing in New York City, you land in Washington, D.C. Same effort, same fuel, same flight time. One tiny, almost invisible shift at the start, and you end up somewhere completely different. That is exactly what habits do. A 1% shift in your daily behavior seems meaningless today. But compounded over months and years, you land somewhere completely different from where you would have been, better or worse, depending on the direction you chose. Let's get into it. Part 1. The Surprising Power of Atomic Habits. The British Cycling Story. British Cycling. For nearly 100 years, this team was a national joke. They were so bad that top European bike manufacturers refused to sell them their bikes, afraid it would damage their brand. Then in 2003, Dave Brailsford became their new coach, and he had one radical idea. Instead of hunting for one big breakthrough, he looked for tiny improvements in everything. He improved the bike seats, the tires, the riders' pillows for better sleep. He had team members wash their hands more carefully to cut down on illness. He even tested which massage gel helped muscles recover fastest. Each change? Less than 1%. But 5 years later, British cycling dominated the Olympics, winning 60% of the available gold medals. And they went on to win the Tour de France multiple times. If you get 1% better every day for 1 year, you'll end up 37 times better by the end. 1%. Every day. That's the entire secret. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. They seem to make no difference in the moment, but across months and years, they deliver extraordinary results. The plateau of latent potential. Here's why most people give up. They don't see results fast enough. Picture an ice cube sitting on a table. The room is at 25 degrees. You slowly turn up the heat. 26 degrees, 28, 30. Nothing happens. The ice looks exactly the same. Then you hit 32 degrees, and suddenly it melts. Was all that heating wasted? Of course not. The work was always accumulating. The breakthrough only looked sudden. This is the plateau of latent potential. Your efforts are storing up energy for a breakthrough you can't see yet. Keep going. Systems over goals. Here's the real lesson. Stop obsessing over your goals. Fall in love with your system. Goals are just the outcomes you want. Systems are the daily habits, routines, and processes that actually get you there. Winners and losers in any field often have the same goals. What separates them is their systems. Trust the process. The breakthrough is already in the making. Part 2. Your habits shape your identity. Why do some people stick with new habits forever, while others fall back into old patterns within days? The answer is identity. James Clear explains that change happens at 3 levels. The outermost layer is your outcomes, the results you want. The middle layer is your processes, the habits you follow. But the deepest, most powerful layer? That's your identity, what you believe about yourself. Most people try to change from the outside in, but identity-based change works from the inside out. 2 people are offered a cigarette. The first says, "No thanks, I'm trying to quit." The second says, "No thanks, I'm not a smoker. Same result, completely different identity. The first person is still fighting against who they believe they are. The second has already become someone new. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. Want to be a runner? Go for a 5-minute run today. Want to be a writer? Write one sentence. Want to be healthy? Make one good food choice. Each action is evidence. The evidence accumulates, and your identity follows. Part 3. The 4 Laws of Behavior Change. In 1898, psychologist Edward Thorndike ran an experiment. He placed cats in a puzzle box and measured how long they took to escape. At first, chaos. Scratching, meowing, knocking everything over. But over time, the cats got faster and faster, until they could escape in seconds, almost automatically. That's how habits form. Behaviors followed by satisfying outcomes get repeated. The brain learns, this works, do it again. Every habit follows the same 4-step loop. Cue to craving to response to reward. To build a good habit, follow 4 laws. Law 1, make it obvious. Law 2, make it attractive. Law 3, make it easy. Law 4, make it satisfying. To break a bad habit, invert every law. Make it invisible, unattractive, difficult, unsatisfying. These 4 laws are the blueprint for everything that follows. Law 1, make it obvious. Awareness first. Here's something that might surprise you. Most of your habits are invisible to you. They run on autopilot. You don't even notice them happening. The Japanese railway system uses a practice called pointing and calling. Operators physically point at every switch, signal, and gauge, and speak aloud what they see. The result? Errors drop by 85%. You can do the same thing with your habits. Write down everything you do in a day, every routine, every ritual. Then mark each one. Helpful, harmful, or neutral. Don't judge it yet, just notice it. Awareness is the first step. You can't change what you can't see. Implementation intentions. In 2001, researchers studied 248 people trying to build an exercise habit. One group tracked results, another read motivational material. The third did something different. They wrote down exactly when, where, and what they would do. The result? 91% of them followed through, more than double the others. This is called an implementation intention. Instead of, I'll work out more, you say, I will exercise for 20 minutes on Monday at 6 p.m. in my living room. Time and location become automatic triggers. Your brain stops waiting for motivation. It just executes. Habit stacking. Even more powerful is habit stacking, linking a new habit to something you already do every single day. After I pour my morning coffee, I will meditate for 1 minute. After I sit down at my desk, I will write 1 sentence. After I brush my teeth, I will do 10 push-ups. One habit triggers the next, like falling dominoes. Design your environment. Dr. Anne Thorndike ran a simple experiment at a hospital cafeteria. She didn't lecture anyone about healthy eating. She just placed water bottles next to every food station and in the main refrigerators. Soda sales dropped 11%. Water sales jumped 26%. Not a single word was spoken. The environment did all the work. Vision is our most powerful sense. So make the cues for your good habits impossible to miss. Guitar in the middle of the room, not in the cupboard. Running shoes by the front door, not in the wardrobe. Fruit on the counter, not hidden in the fridge. And to break bad habits, make the cue invisible. Move the TV out of the bedroom. Put your phone in another room. Delete social media apps from your home screen. Law 2. Make it attractive. Why we crave what we crave. In the 1940s, scientist Nico Tinbergen studied baby seagulls. Chicks are born knowing to peck at the red dot on their mother's beak to get fed. But when he created fake beaks with bigger, brighter red dots, the chicks went wild, preferring the fake over the real. He called this a supernormal stimulus, an exaggerated cue that triggers a stronger response than the real thing. Sound familiar? Junk food is engineered to be more appealing than anything found in nature. Social media is designed to be more stimulating than real conversation. Everything around us is a supernormal stimulus, and our brains were never designed to resist it. Dopamine is about anticipation. Here's the twist. Dopamine, the brain's pleasure chemical, doesn't spike when you get a reward. It spikes in anticipation of one. Slot machines make you crave the spin before the win. Cocaine addicts' brains light up when they see the powder, not after using it. It's the wanting, not the getting, that drives behavior. The bigger the anticipation, the stronger the habit. Temptation bundling. So how do you use this for good habits? Temptation bundling, linking something you want to do with something you need to do. Only watch your favorite Netflix show while exercising. Only listen to your favorite podcast while doing chores. Only enjoy your favorite coffee while reviewing your goals. The anticipation of the reward makes the habit feel irresistible. The role of your tribe. We are herd animals. We naturally imitate the habits of three groups: the close, the many, and the powerful. A study of 12,000 people tracked over 32 years found that if a close friend gains weight, your own risk of gaining weight increases by 57%. It works positively too. Surround yourself with people who already have the habits you want, and those habits become your new normal. Join a culture where your desired behavior is the standard. When the group's identity matches your goal, the habit becomes almost effortless. Law 3. Make it easy. Repetition over perfection. A photography professor ran an experiment. Half the class would be graded purely on quantity. The more photos, the better the grade. The other half would be graded on quality. One perfect photo. At the end of the semester, the best photos came entirely from the quantity group. By shooting hundreds of photos, they learned faster, experimented more, and improved far quicker than the students agonizing over a single perfect shot. Motion, planning, strategizing, learning feels productive, but it doesn't produce results. Action does. Neurons that fire together, wire together. Habits form through repetition, not time. Don't wait until you feel ready. Start now. Start small. The more you repeat, the more automatic it becomes. The law of least effort. Human beings naturally choose the path of least resistance. This isn't a flaw, it's a feature. And once you understand it, you can design your habits around it. Reduce friction for good habits. Increase friction for bad ones. Want to eat healthier? Prep your vegetables on Sunday so they're ready to grab. Want to stop scrolling your phone in bed? Charge it in another room. Want to exercise more? Sleep in your workout clothes. Design your environment so the right action is always the easiest action. The 2-minute rule. Here's the most powerful idea for getting started. The 2-minute rule. Scale every new habit down to something that takes 2 minutes or less. Want to read every night? Your habit is, open the book. Want to meditate? Your habit is, sit down and close your eyes for 2 minutes. Want to run? Your habit is, put on your running shoes. The idea is to make starting feel effortless, because a habit must be established before it can be improved. Once you've mastered showing up, which is always the hardest part, you can scale up from there. One reader used this method to lose over 100 pounds. He went to the gym every single day, but only committed to 5 minutes. Showing up became the habit. The rest took care of itself. Commitment devices. Victor Hugo had a deadline and a serious problem with distraction. He loved going out. He loved socializing, but he had a book to write. His solution? He locked away all his clothes so he physically could not leave the house. He had to write. The Hunchback of Notre Dame was finished in 6 months. A commitment device is a choice made in the present that locks in better behavior in the future. Automate good habits wherever possible. Set up automatic savings, use website blockers, prep your meals in advance, make the right behavior the default. Law 4. Make it satisfying. Immediate rewards. Here's the brutal truth about human psychology. We are wired to prefer immediate rewards over delayed ones. The brain doesn't care about your long-term health. It cares about right now. This is why bad habits are so easy to form and good habits are so hard. Bad habits almost always deliver immediate pleasure and delayed cost, while good habits deliver immediate cost and delayed reward. The solution? Make the immediate experience of a good habit satisfying. Public health worker Stephen Luby gave families in Karachi foaming, pleasant-smelling soap. Suddenly, hand-washing wasn't a chore. It was a satisfying sensory experience. Rates of diarrhea, pneumonia, and skin infections dropped dramatically within months. The habit stuck because it felt good. What is immediately rewarded is repeated. What is immediately punished is avoided. Pair every new habit with a small, immediate reward. Save £1 into a travel fund every time you work out. Treat yourself to a special coffee after your morning writing session. Give your brain something to celebrate right now. Habit tracking. Stockbroker Trent Dearsmid had a brilliant system. He started every day with 2 jars on his desk, one filled with 120 paper clips, one empty. Every time he made a sales call, he moved one paper clip from the full jar to the empty one. The visual progress was addictive. He couldn't stop. Within 18 months, he was bringing in millions. This is the power of habit tracking. Don't break the chain. Cross off each day on a calendar. Log your workouts. Watch the streak grow. The visual evidence of progress is inherently satisfying, and it reinforces your identity as someone who shows up day after day. And when you miss a day, and you will, follow one rule: never miss twice. 1 missed workout is an accident. 2 missed workouts is the beginning of a new, bad habit. Accountability partners. Entrepreneur Brian Harris created a detailed habit contract, a written agreement with his wife and personal trainer spelling out exactly what he would do and what would happen if he failed. Financial penalties, embarrassing consequences. It worked, not because of the contract itself, but because of the social cost of breaking it. We are deeply social creatures. We care about how others see us. An accountability partner doesn't just encourage you, they create immediate, real consequences for failing to follow through. Find your person, make the agreement specific, and let the social stakes do the work. The Greek philosopher Socrates once asked, "Can 1 coin make a person rich?" No, of course not. Can 2 coins? 3? At what point does the pile of coins become wealth? There is no single decisive moment. It's the accumulation that does it. 1 coin after another, until one day you're rich. That's exactly how habits work. 1 page written today won't make you a best-selling author. 1 workout won't make you fit. 1 good night of sleep won't fix your health. But 1 page every day, 1 workout every single day, good sleep every night, that changes everything. Small habits don't add up. They compound. Tiny changes. Remarkable results. You now have the full blueprint. Make it obvious. Design your environment. Stack your habits. Make the cues visible. Make it attractive. Bundle temptations. Join the right community. Reframe your mindset. Make it easy. Reduce friction. Use the 2-minute rule. Commit in advance. Make it satisfying. Reward yourself immediately. Track your progress. Never miss twice. Remember that flight from Los Angeles to New York City? You just made the adjustment. You tilted the nose, ever so slightly, in the right direction. Where you land a year from now, 5 years from now, depends entirely on whether you keep that tiny shift going. 1%. Every day. That's it. Make it obvious. Make it attractive. Make it easy. Make it satisfying. And remember this. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. So here's the only question that matters as you leave this video. What is 1 habit, just 1, that you can make 1% better today? Not tomorrow, not Monday, today. If this video gave you even 1 idea that could change your life, do 3 things right now. Hit the like button. It tells us this kind of content matters to you, and it helps more people find it. Subscribe to Dust Jackets, because every week we break down the most powerful, life-changing books on the planet into ideas you can actually use. No fluff, no filler, just the best ideas, clearly explained. Share this video with one person in your life who needs to hear it. A friend stuck in old patterns. A family member who's been trying to change. Someone who just needs a gentle nudge in the right direction. This is Dust Jackets. See you in the next one.